Steph Curry is the finals MVP. And I feel like every time I come to this camera, I have the same reaction. I have the same energy about, man, this series, this game was one of my favorite finals games in recent memory. We are witnessing history. This is probably one of my favorite NBA Finals series, and I don't know how long. I've been saying it in all these videos. I'm going to keep saying it. I know I sound like a broken record. I'm on 10 right now. This game was action-packed. This is what you want as an NBA fan in the NBA Finals. Two teams thugging it out. We got haymakers here, haymakers there, big shot here, big shot there, role player stepping up here, role player stepping up there. This player getting exposed, he's getting exposed. This coach does this move. This coach makes another chess move. This is fantastic, historic basketball. 6 out of 8 dynasty team against this new emerging Eastern Conference team who plays with a little bit of early 2000 basketball mixed with the modern NBA, switching everything all over the floor. Absolutely entertaining. But like I said in previous videos, like I said on Twitter, if you follow me there, Steph Curry has been head and shoulders above anybody else on the floor at any time during these games. And whether they win, whether they lose, whether it's a draw, Steph Curry should be the finals MVP. And tonight stamped it for me. To begin this game, the Celtics came out very, very strong and very active. And I'll admit, I was definitely worried about how they would enter this game being up 2-1. I didn't know if they were going to come out with a sense of comfort, a little bit relaxed like they did in game 2 after the good win that they had in game 1. I knew the Warriors were going to come with a certain level of intensity that came a lot later than I expected. The Warriors started this game 0 for 5 from 3, 1 of 7 for the field, and I believe this game started 11-4, 14-4, something like that. But it was a very, very tough, rough, and ugly start for the Golden State Warriors in a game that they really had no business playing around with. You don't want to go back home in the NBA Finals down 3-1 to a team as dangerous and lethal on the defensive side of the basketball as the Boston Celtics. So I was very pleased and proud of the Celtics for coming out guns blazing with a sense of urgency, understanding the magnitude of this game for them, because this could be the turning point of the series, hypothetically speaking. The Warriors, on the other hand, didn't like the move of Steve Kerr going with Otto Porter in the starting lineup. I understood what he tried to do because Kevon Looney and Draymond being out on the court sometimes, with the Celtics not really guarding Draymond, Kevon Looney not being the perimeter threat, maybe you can open up the floor a little bit more with Otto Porter. But because the Celtics go Al Horford and Robert Williams in the front court with their starting lineup, with the 6'8" Jason Tatum and 6'6" to 6'7" Jaylen Brown, and Marcus Smart plays a lot bigger than his size, you really couldn't afford to go small. And the Celtics made that evident early on in this game. Robert Williams did a really good job on the offensive glass. Al Horford did as well. And early on, they got second chance opportunities and looks. And I felt like as soon as Kevon Looney came in, he kind of made an impact instantly by neutralizing the Celtics on the glass. But then on the opposite side of the end, he helped the Warriors get a lot of second chance opportunities like he's done all playoffs and all series long with the offensive rebounding. Andrew Wiggins really in the beginning of this game and throughout the entire game stepped up big time. I feel like he's been an instrumental piece for them all playoffs, really doing exactly whatever they need. And early on, the question that all of us was asking was which Warrior player was going to step up and give Steph a little bit of help that he needed all course of this game, which is why I'm calling him the MVP. He had an answer for the Boston Celtics. I'm talking about 3 here, mid-range shot there, a layup here, offensive rebound here, defensive rebound here. Steph Curry is playing lights out. We're going to get to Steph Curry. But Andrew Wiggins, 15 boards on tonight's game, 4 offensive rebounds, I believe. Obviously, Looney is getting his offensive rebound. Draymond pitched in with another 4 offensive rebounds. Definitely didn't like his start to the game, him or Clay. Knowing the magnitude of this game, knowing the sense of desperation that they need to play with, Draymond for the first 3.5 quarters just wasn't there intensity-wise. I'm okay with Draymond not having 30 points. I'm okay with him not having 10 points. I know what his role is on his team, and I have a certain expectation for him game in and game out. Intensity is something that he cannot lack. Points won't always be there for him. He may not always have the assist numbers we want. Hell, he may not even have certain rebound numbers that we think he should have, but intensity is something that Draymond Green should never ever lack. For as much as he talks, for as much as he, all of the antics, the energy and intensity level should never not be displayed for Draymond. And I feel like in a game as important as today was, I just didn't see it from him early on throughout the first 3 quarters and the first half of the fourth quarter. Down the stretch, I will admit he stepped up and made some very big plays. Got a big fourth quarter offensive rebound, was able to kick it back out to Steph. That helps you win the game and close it out. But throughout the first 3 quarters, I just didn't get that from him. Felt like very similar to game 3, a game that he said himself he felt like he played like shit. So I expected more from him early on in his game, knowing that their back was against the wall. Kevon Looney, though, like I said, Kevon Looney stepped up super big. Him and Andrew Wiggins have been super key. I love the fact that Andrew Wiggins is finding himself within the offense. He's not afraid to take shots. He had some mid-range shots over Al Horford. He went coast to coast one possession. He made some big threes. I love the confidence that we're seeing from Wiggins. The way he clashed the glass, offensively, defensively, him guarding Tatum, him guarding Brown. He's been the second best player this series for the Warriors, in my opinion. Last game, Clay had a very big game. We know Jordan Poole hit the long shot. They're going to do glamorous things with their three-point shots and everything like that. But on a consistent basis, Andrew Wiggins has been there throughout this entire series for the Warriors. And I think his presence has been a lot more important than we have seen him get credit for throughout this series. So that was big time for me. For him to end up with 17 points, 15 rebounds, and playing the defense that he played and making some of the offensive plays that he made, I think Wiggins needs a lot more credit than we've been giving him, just so to speak. For me personally, though, I think the third quarter was an important quarter for Marcus Smart. I love the way that he played, not settling for the long-range shot. He had some plays where he took it into the paint, made some impressive passes. He hit somebody in the corner for a 3. Derek White, Jason Tatum, someone was in the corner. I love that pass. It was a needle thread bullet pass. Then, like I said, took it into the paint. Wasn't just taking the threes that the defense is going to give him. And that is what disappointed me for the Celtics. They played good all game. I love what I got from Marcus Smart in that third quarter. He had like 9 points at one point throughout the third. And then in the fourth quarter, his entire mentality changed, and he got back to the chucking Marcus Smart, who just takes threes and threes and threes. It was one possession. He took a 3. They got the offensive rebound. They kicked it out to reset or try to get another look, and he shot another 3 and missed. And I think those are the shots that Ime Udoka spoke about against the Miami Heat, where in Game 7, they were throwing bodies at Tatum and kind of giving Marcus Smart opportunities to just shoot the ball. And that's what he was doing. He went right into the defense's hands by just shooting a shot that's always going to be available. And Ime spoke on it and said he wanted to see more things happen than just taking that shot. We know you can make the shot. We know it's going to be available. But do some dribble, drive, kick, make defenses collapse, get an easy floater, a mid-range shot. You cannot just be throwing up shots because it's there. We know you can make it. I have no problem being aggressive. But Marcus Smart has to continue the way he played in the third throughout the course of a game, because I feel like the way he played in the third was one of the best versions of Marcus Smart as far as offensive aggression that I've seen in a very long time. We know he's going to make defensive plays. We know he's going to be a pest there. We know he's going to make an imprint, rebound, do all of the other things. But from an offensive standpoint, when things are getting a little slower for Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, Marcus Smart playing the way he did in the third throughout the course of a game could be very game-changing for the Celtics down the stretch. Robert Williams was impressive. The 2 blocks that he had were showtime. He had some nice assists. Love the way that he crashed the glass. I felt that he should have taken that challenge upon himself for the Warriors to go out there and play small. It was super disrespectful to him and Al Horford, so I love the way that he came with that. Derek White stepping up, making some threes. Warriors are continuing to give him looks. He's continuing to make them pay for it. And then overall, Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, they have these stretches in games where you can't say that they had bad games, but for some reason we leave these games feeling like it could have done more, feeling like there should have been more from them to answer against Steph Curry. Steph Curry had 43 points. And though Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown neither had bad games by no means, I just feel like in that fourth quarter, I didn't feel that impact from them on the offensive side of the basketball that I felt they needed to step up. Even when they were down 6 at one point, Al Horford hit the corner 3 to cut it down to 3. Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown have to be more impactful throughout the full course of a game, especially in the fourth quarter, like they did in game one, where Jaylen Brown really turned it up for the team. They have to be this way. Again, not saying they play bad. Jason Tatum had 23 points, 11 rebounds, 6 assists, 3 blocks, and a steal. Jaylen Brown had 21, 6, and 2. Not bad games at all. But down the stretch, when Steph Curry is cooking like that and the Warriors start coming and turning it up, the Celtics have to find a way to respond. And I feel like some of the shots that the Celtics take, the tough turnarounds from Jason Tatum, even when they're going in, those shots are so tough and low percentage that the Warriors are going to make you pay when you miss them. The more shots you miss, kind of like Marcus Smart with the threes, you're just giving the Warriors transition buckets and opportunities and flow. The last thing the Warriors want is to have to go against that defense when it's set and prepared and really on a string and switching everything and on point. But in transition, when guys ain't matched up or things is going real fast, that's when the Warriors they can get you two guys going to Clay, and now Steph is open. Two guys going to Steph, and now Clay is open. Somebody leaving Andrew Wiggins for a cut, now he get an easy dunk. All, the putback, you got 3 guys over here, so now the offensive glass is open for somebody like Wiggins to get a tap in. That's how the Warriors find you vulnerable. So shot diet is a big thing for the Celtics. And then turning the ball over. They had so many turnovers that I just felt like hurt them so bad. And both teams are guilty of that. The Warriors are too much of a veteran championship DNA to be so loose with the ball. Steph Curry with the overhead pass and Bielitsa threw the ball on a baseline inbound pass that was supposed to go to Curry off the stagger, and he threw it and Marcus Smart stole it. Draymond with the slow, soft handoff that Marcus Smart took. Too many turnovers from both teams. The Warriors had 16. The Celtics had 15. Just ugly basketball, especially down the stretch. A lot of those turnovers that I'm talking about are second half, fourth quarter turnovers. And for the Celtics, you just don't want to give the Warriors any transition opportunities as far as turnovers go. And the misses and poor shot diet. I think LeBron even tweeted like, man, bad shot selection against the Warriors equal, and he put a dead emoji because that's exactly what it is. Rebounding, though. The Warriors really crashed the glass. 16 offensive rebounds. Super incredible. The Celtics only had 11 offensive rebounds. 55 rebounds in total for the Warriors compared to the Celtics 42. That's a plus 13 in the rebound department. I really like that for the Warriors. They have to continue to emphasize that. And that's why I don't think Steve Kerr could continue to try to go small. Play Kevon Looney. Deal with it. Draymond has to be more aggressive. Stop settling for the threes. When you have opportunity at the rim, you have to take advantage. Too many looks in this game specifically to Draymond pass off. He's right there by the rim. Instead of just going up, he's passing to Looney, passing it to Wiggins, kicking it out. He had an offensive rebound and kicked it out. Too many of those possessions. Draymond has to get his head in the game from an aggression standpoint offensively. Not be wild, not just take ludicrous shots. But when you have 5-foot attempts right in front of you, you cannot pass those away. You're doing a disservice to the team by passing up those shots. 4 offensive rebounds, 4 steals for Draymond. Super big. Like I mentioned, down the stretch, he got his shit together. The big offensive rebound, I feel like, was one of the keys for them winning the game. Klay Thompson didn't have his best shooting game, but down the stretch, he made some timely threes. Out of the half, they came out with a 5-0 run to tie the game back up. Steph Curry with a bank off the backboard shot. The dude is incredible. Klay comes around, hits a 3, tie game. Out of the half, which I love to see. The third quarter Warriors are a real thing, we know. And other than that, going forward, I really want to see how the Celtics can respond to this in Golden State. I want to see how, because the thing for me is they have to find a way where Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum can both impact the game from an offensive standpoint throughout the entire course of a game. It's like one or the other, or like today where they both kind of was cool, but then down the stretch, I felt like neither one. I can't remember a big bucket in the fourth that Jason Tatum got or Jaylen Brown. I can't, and I'm not saying they didn't get any, but in the top of my mind, all I'm remembering Steph Curry shots. A lot of 4-point play shots that the ref won't call for whatever reason. But I just can't remember that. And I feel like in other games, you had moments where it was like, oh, Jaylen Brown doing his thing, Jason Tatum doing it. And it's always been like that. They need to find a way for both of these guys to really impact the game throughout the full courts. And you got to continue to expose Draymond. I love the fact that they're not really guarding him, because if he's not going to be aggressive on the offensive end, crowd up the space for Curry, the drop coverage, and the way that they're guarding Curry and the continuous looks that he's getting, and a lot, like I said, a lot of 4-point plays, in my opinion. They have to find a way to not put Curry at the line or give him opportunities that look like 4-point plays, because in Golden State, they're going to call those for sure. And yeah, keep Looney off the glass, man. Keep Looney off the glass. The Warriors 16 offensive rebounds. Those are the things that I'm watching specifically. The turnovers, the offensive rebounds. Those have been more important than a 3-point shot. Both of these teams are shooting a 3-point shot, kind of whatever. Is neither one is game changing like we've seen in previous games. Shout out to Poole. He came in with 14. That was real big for them. But going forward, the turnovers, the offensive rebounds, and figuring out how to rough up and get into Steph Curry in any type of way, shape, or form. And Draymond for the Warriors has to find a way to be impactful offensively. He has to. Too many possessions, again, where he just didn't make himself, a priority to get a bucket. 27 straight playoff series with a road win for the Warriors, which is a record. I definitely think that they're going to come out hungry in Game 5. And I think they're going to come out guns blazing. The Celtics have to show that they're battle tested. They have to come in focused. Again, clean up the turnovers, because you get the Chase Center popping like we saw in Game 2. And the Warriors only have to play in the fourth. You don't want to have another scenario there. Jason Tatum, we probably going to need a big 30-point, 40-point game from you like Steph was able to do. But man, this is the Warriors regain home court advantage. And all they got to do is win at home the rest of the way. I still got the Warriors in 6. But this will be a dog fight. That's it for me. Steph Curry, Finals MVP. If anybody watching this disagree, please tell me why in the comments. Because, again, this dude hit some crazy shots, and the energy, I just love that shit. He hit the shot, and he went to the Warriors crowd and was, I love seeing, we don't really see that from Steph. I love it. I am Pee Wee the Plug, though. This is NBA Weekly, NBA Finals. We'll see you guys for Game 5. I'm out. Peace.